Hey YouTube, how y'all doing? So today's gonna be more of a rant video. I'm just gonna be talking about killer whales in captivity. But before I rant my head off, I'm gonna give y'all a little overview about killer whales. So orcas or killer whales are the largest dolphins in the world. Yes, they are dolphins. They can be found in all the oceans of the world, but they do prefer colder waters. Males can grow up to between 20 to 26 feet long and weigh between 8,000 to 16,000 pounds. Females can grow between 16 to 23 feet long and weigh between 8,000 to 11,000 pounds. Orcas give birth to usually one kid, but sometimes twins can happen. Calves are usually between 7 to 8 feet long and weigh 400 pounds. And obviously, orcas are carnivores. They eat fish, stingrays, sharks, seals, and whales, hence the name killer whale. So if you didn't know why they're called killer whales, the name orca literally just translates to whale killer. And like I said earlier, they are the largest dolphins, and not only do they live in pods, but they also communicate with clicks and whistles just like dolphins. Now, one cool fact about killer whales is that they have different languages and dialects. So different pods in different regions of the ocean will have their own distinct calls. No two calls are the same when it comes to different killer whale pods. Also, killer whales are very, very, very smart. Orcas that live in the Arctic or the Antarctic will push glaciers with seals on them so they can have a little snack. And in the Valdez Peninsula, killer whales actually purposefully beach themselves to hunt seals. Nowhere else can you find killer whales doing this. Alright, now it's time for me to talk about captive killer whales, and it's time to get very, very depressing, and this is where my rant is. Alright, first of all, captive killer whales live significantly shorter lives than wild killer whales. In the wild, they can live up to nearly 100 years, but in captivity, they can live between 10 to 45 years. Orcas constantly get sunburned because the tanks aren't even deep enough. It's only about 45 feet deep compared to their 328 diving depth in the wild. Captive killer whales aren't even fed right either. They're usually given mainly gelatin as like a little snack or something. I don't know if y'all ever seen the picture of the killer whale with a collapsed dorsal fin. But before I talk about that, when it comes to males, male killer whale dorsal fins can go up to 6 feet tall. That's taller than me. Yeah, I know I'm short, shut up. But anyways, the collapsed dorsal fin basically just means that the killer whale is in poor health. Now, less than 1% of killer whales in the wild have this. Less than 1%. Let that sink in. Obviously, in captivity, killer whales are way more aggressive, and Telecom, the famous killer whale, he killed 4 people in his life. 4 people. In the wild, killer whales have never killed a person, and they've never attacked a person in the wild. But in captivity, killer whale attacks are very, very common. Mothers and calves are constantly separated, and the calves are shipped to other aquariums. Just imagine that. Having your child separated from you maybe like a good couple weeks after birth or something. Speaking of mothers, in the wild, orcas reach sexual maturity between the ages of 10 to 13 years old, but in captivity, female orcas are impregnated around the age of 5 years old. I'm not trying to sound like those niggas that PETA that say, oh, don't go to SeaWorld, don't do this, don't go to the zoo, don't get a pet, Nah. I actually really don't go to SeaWorld for real, because SeaWorld is really fucked up. The shit that I just named, that's literally what SeaWorld really does to their killer whales. But killer whales really are one of my favorite animals now. And after I watched like the documentary Blackfish, y'all should really watch that documentary. I'm not getting sponsored. I really wish I was, because God knows I need the bread. But really watch Blackfish. You'll get like more information, a deeper insight of captive killer whales, the life of Telecom. It was just, he was just living through hell, seriously. But I'm not going to end on a bad note. Nah. So I am going to leave y'all with some killer whale sounds. But with that being said, I'm out.